Hey guys, so today we are going to be switching out these cars to make the BNSF sand train again. And here comes the BNSF locomotive. But it's not traveling light, at least I don't think it is. Because, yep, scheduled with the caboose today. And then, so, first they'll flip this switch and then move into the side track, hook up to this, and then pull back out and put it into the main line to build up the train. Okay, now it can back out. And then, so, I'll back the whole train out and stop at the, right before the switch, or after the switch, right before the switch, however you want to say it, and then back that one little hopper in, and then unhook. Okay, now that they've unhooked, they can back out. And then stop before the switch, and then flip it, and then they can push this part of the train back in, and go a little further, and stop right there, and then unhook from the gondola to drop off the Union Pacific hopper with the other hopper. Okay, now that they've unhooked, they can back out again, and then hook up to the Southern Pacific hopper and drop off the Union Pacific hopper that they have right now. Okay, now that they've unhooked, they can back out again and drop off the tanker. You have to do it slowly though. That's why they had to do it slowly. And hook up the tanker to there. Okay, so now that they've unhooked from the tanker, they can back out again and drop off the last 3 hoppers they have into the main line with the rest of the hoppers. Now that they've done that, they can back out again and then grab the 2 hoppers out of that track. Well, they'll grab the whole train. Okay, now that they've hooked up to that whole train, and then back out with the whole thing. And then try some flying shunting, maybe. But first, I will have to push the hoppers farther back. A little farther like that, and then unhook. Okay, now that they've unhooked, they can reverse out and then just unhook from some of the cars on the incline so they go pretty far back, so they can unhook from the cars so they can slide them in with the switches aligned. Okay, now they can unhook and slide them in. That actually worked out better than I expected. And then now they have 2 hoppers to unhook and slide in. And this one's another UP/SP mix. It has Union Pacific and a Southern Pacific 2-bay hopper each. 2 of them. Like how in the front of the hoppers. Okay, and now they have a few more cars that have to back out of the tunnel so they're going to unhook the rest. Some of the other cars. A gondola and 2 tanks. Now they'll unhook from that and slide it in to the side track. Now they can slide them in. It didn't work as good, so they'll have to come back and push them forward a little in. There we go. Now they can back out and they may as well just hook up right there. Now that they've hooked up, they can unhook from them and go to the front and hook up, and then leave with the caboose right behind the BNSF locomotive as like a heritage for rail fanners. Lucky rail fanners that are watching the BNSF sand train go by. That's it. Go a little past that switch. And then flip it and then go forward into it. Then go around. And have to stop before the switch up there at the end of the yard. I have to stop right there to flip that switch, and then they'll be able to go forward a little more, stop right after the switch so they can flip it again, and then they can go in and hook up to the cars. Now that they've hooked up, they can speed on out of the yard and then just continue to their destination. It's been about a few hours. They've had a few trains pass throughout the yard, and this I've never done before, but I've never recorded this before, but they have a CP train, or it's a BNSF train, but it's a Canadian Pacific locomotive. That's the locomotive they used out of a yard, another yard, bigger yard that's a few hours away that they had it started, and the yard is going to come pick up this train, because it's train, and then carry it to its destination. Okay, so it's backing up into the yard to pick up those cars. Then it'll just ride on out and flip the switch, and then just go on to its destination. Okay, so now they can pull out of the yard and then stop to flip the switch and then just take on out.